Pre-active pre-drifter is the whole kit and caboodle, and it will train you.
Do you wake up in the night sweating bullets?
Do you live in constant fear of hitting rock walls?
Do you wake up seeing a man eating guardrail?
Is your mom afraid for you when you go out to skate?
Do you see yourself sliding off the road?
Do you feel you can skate safe and skate hard?
It's too much to handle. I can't sleep, I can't brush my teeth, I have cavities, gumdivitis, gingivitis.
If you are experiencing one or more of these symptoms, you are potentially putting yourself and others in harm's way. Hi, I'm James Kelly.
And I'm Louis Pilloni. Do not worry, as we have the product for you. You'll be executing perfectly executed corners in no time with the help of pre-active pre-drifter.
With the pre-active pre-drifter, it gave me the confidence I needed to stick my turns. I even divorced my wife.
The pre-active pre-drifter will help you familiarize yourself with the turn. It'll teach you how to slow down and hit the apex so you can shoot out well.
Number 2, pre-active pre-drift will teach you to, when you need to slow down, slow off that speed so you can drift through it, come into the apex, grip out, and have a higher exit speed.
It'll show you proper puck positioning and weight distribution for when you're drifting through a turn.
This product will instruct you to look where you want to go, not where you're going, which is closer to the hay bales if you're not using pre-active pre-drifter.
Pre-active pre-drifter will train you to rail corners like you have a PhD in being a professional badass.
That's right.
Friends, let me share my story with you. I didn't use the pre-active pre-drifter, and I broke my neck. I don't want to see it happen to you, so please, be responsible. Do the right thing, and use it.
Pre-drifting has a lot of different applications. Here we find ourselves on a beautiful mountain road. What's very special about this one, it is one way downhill. So it is very controlled atmosphere, so we don't put ourselves and others in danger.
The best thing about this mountain road is it's easy to teach yourself about the corners. You can get to know all the corners really well and push yourself because it's one way downhill. You can really learn where the apex is, where you want to drift off speed, and where you want to hook back up to shoot yourself out of the turn.
Speed checking and pre-drifting isn't an application that's only for speed boarding. It can be used for carving, around town, any little nice 90-degree corner that you find yourself that you got to slow down before going around. It's just all the different ways that you apply it.
Basically, anywhere you're skating, if you find yourself drifting too far, whether it's on a sidewalk into grass or a mountain road into walk walls, if you can learn to throw a little pre-drift, you can slow your drifting down and stop.
It is very important to learn how to foot brake too. That is the number one skill that you should work on and be able to control at any speed.
Pre-drifting is like a form of late braking for skateboarding. You want to come into a turn hot, brake on your outside line, start to throw your pre-drift here, and aim for the apex of the corner way down here. After pulling your pre-drift on the outside line, you're going to start shaving speed as your wheels start to want to hook up more as you're going closer to the apex of the turn. That was sick. When you're going in a heel side pre-drift, bend down, center your weight on your board, put your hand down as you start to lean out, and once you feel your wheel start to lose traction, kick your back leg out with the board throughout the turn, and then bring it back, and then just drift, and then hook up on the apex. When you go down the pre-drift like this, you want to keep your shoulders square and be sure not to over-rotate, because when you over-rotate, you're going to end up just doing a 180 throughout the turn and coming out backwards. Next tip is weight placement. You want to keep your weight over your board on your wheels. If you bring your weight too back on your backhand, the board's going to end up slipping out from under you and you're going to fall. Like that.
Toe side pre-drifts can be a little tricky, especially since you're turning your back down towards the hill. You always want to, there's 3 things you want to keep in mind. You always want to keep a good sense of direction where you're going, how much speed you need to blow off, and where to place your weight. As you come up to the turn, make sure you have your weight separated evenly, maybe a little bit more on the front over the center of the board, and have your back foot ready so you get leverage over the back. As you come down, you see it, you see the turn coming, you try to figure out how much speed you need to drift on. So here's where it gets a little tricky. You bring your backhand up and you sort of reach to the side, but you turn into it, put your hand down, take a little pressure off the wheels, and you got to kick out the back foot. And you throw it out and try to look over your shoulder and see where you're going. If you turn this way, you'll just go into a straight backward slide and just slide off the road. So throw it out backwards, look, see it, and you gotta throw it out and bring it back in. And a good trick to bring it back in is by pushing out your front foot. So out, and then instead of bring your back foot in, but also push your front foot out to bring it back. Get your weight back over the board. Use this as a little guide. You know, if you can take weight off of it, the most weight you can take off your hand, the better, or the more efficient it is. But practice is the only way to really do it. It takes a lot of, you got to work your way up. You start off real slow. I mean, you're going to be going 5-10 miles per hour and do a little and then hook back up, and then you just keep on progressing and really start to draw it out. Now, did you see that right there? He was not smooth in his transfer from his palm to his wheels. He dove into it, and then he dove back, and it caused him to get those crazy wobbles that throw you off. Don't do that.
Okay, so that time, ladies and gentlemen, he over-rotated and didn't keep his shoulders square. That caused him to do a 180 out. Keep your shoulders square, then you'll keep going true.
When you're learning how to pre-drift, there's no way around it. You will fall. That's why it's very important to have a good helmet. If you're starting to go a little bit faster and not quite doing the sidewalk surfing and going down roads, it's important to have a CPSC certified helmet with the foam. Drifting and sliding is a fun application that you can use for a whole bunch of styling. But the main principal function of a pre-drift is when you're coming in too fast, so you blow off the extra speed so you can grip the corner. You're not supposed to drift the entirety of the turn, you're only supposed to drift the beginning half and grip up. Pre-active pre-drifter is not actually a product, and in no way does this certify you in being a badass in cornering. The only way to safely and effectively corner is to work your way up and practice at a controlled location. Remember, don't be stupid. Always wear a helmet and proper safety equipment.
Oh.